The Future Classroom and Emerging Technologies. My name is Rachel Culberson, and this presentation was created for current trends in instructional technology at the University of South Florida. And in this presentation, I will discuss my vision of the future of education in a digital age, as well as virtual reality as an emerging technology and the benefits of utilizing this technology as a learning tool. With emerging technologies, information is everywhere. Students of all kinds are learning with the aid of computers and new technology, creating a shift in the structure of our educational model. Many new technologies are challenging schools and educators to adapt, and if both students and educators learn to embrace these changes and rethink education, then learning can become a lifelong experience for our students. On the other hand, if public schools and traditional education do not learn to incorporate new technologies and learning styles, the result could be that our most motivated students who have available resources do most of their learning outside the classroom. First, physical classroom. The traditional classroom with a teacher and 20 or so students sitting at desk, learning standards-based grade level content, skills, facts, is undergoing a change that will transform the physical structure of the room. I believe that the future of education will cause classrooms to include flexible seating that is appropriate for specific tasks that students are working on. For example, standing desk, comfortable seats, opportunities for movement, workstations for both individual and group tasks, interactive projectors, and smartboards. The classroom will become very collaborative versus the traditional classroom of rows of desks and students working independently. The focus of the classroom layout will be on the comfort of students to better enhance their learning opportunity. Even when students are in school in our digital age, much of the learning process occurs outside of school. For example, children are playing complex video games, workers are interacting with simulations, high school and college students are taking courses online, and adults refer to websites like Wikipedia for information. People around the world are taking education out of schools and into their homes, libraries, internet cafes, and workplaces where they can decide what they want to learn, when they want to learn, and how they want to learn. These various new age classrooms and learning environments are leading to new pedagogy and content being taught. Rooted in traditional education is the idea that students come to school to learn grade level content, facts. They study theories, they study works of arts and science that's accumulated over hundreds of years. A new difference in style of learning is more hands-on activity and project-based learning, learning by doing. With emerging technologies, students have opportunities to interact with content and the freedom to create. The use of computers can allow students to interact with the real world in the learning process. Situated learning theory illustrates strength in knowing by doing. Technology can support this theory and can allow students to learn subject matter by doing what experts in that subject matter do. In lifelong learning, assessment usually occurs as the learner progresses through the learning environment. In this environment, students will have more freedom to create and show understanding. Emerging technologies allow classrooms to be self-paced and personalized. An enormous benefit of using technology in the learning process is that education becomes customized to the particular needs and abilities of the individual learner. When computers can adapt and provide support to help students succeed, the role of the teacher changes as well. Creating lifelong learners should be the goal for modern educators. The future classroom teacher. The future classroom teacher's role will shift from an expert of content knowledge to an expert at accessing knowledgeable sources. Today, technology provides learners with a vast amount of reliable sources in which to gain knowledge from. In the future, I believe that the teacher's role will move from directly teaching knowledge to facilitating students to acquire knowledge by use of resources. This will include observation, coaching, and practice, allowing teachers to be stronger mentors and role models. A teacher's job will become to prepare students to spend their whole lives learning in challenging and changing environments. Also, with the shift of the role of teachers, Responsibility becomes less on educators and public schools and more on students and families. Technology allows students who feel behind to learn anything, anywhere, anytime. This graphic shows different experiences in the classroom when we have teacher-centered learning with direct instruction in a teacher-controlled environment, passive learning, to a student-centered learning environment where students have independent learning processes. They collaborate with one another, where creativity is encouraged, students are responsible for their own learning, and students are actively engaged. So next we're going to talk about emerging technologies, virtual reality specifically. With virtual reality, students can visit places and experience 3D images through headsets designed to immerse users in a virtual world without leaving the room. In education, this technology can be used to enrich any subject matter. For example, students studying science can use virtual reality to explore the inside of a blood vessel or dissect a virtual body. In history, they can explore museums. Virtual reality can also put students in challenging real world situations in places they would not have the chance to visit without technology. One of the criticisms of this type of technology is the lack of human connection. However, if it's used in a collaborative manner, learners can work together greatly. So they can engage in the content together. They can communicate with other students anywhere in the world. They can learn. They can create together. Some of the benefits of using virtual technology is that it promotes high levels of engagement and excitement. It's an active rather than passive learning and experience. Academic performance and motivation are both increased. Student-centered learning, outstanding visualizations. It can be used to enrich any subject. It eliminates language barriers with its use of visuals, and there's a high level of knowledge retention. Class VR reported that people retain 10% of what they read, yet they retain 90% of what they experience. Virtual reality facilitates knowledge retention at the highest level possible through immersive and engaging personal experiences. Let me go back to a different slide real quickly. This video shows an example of how virtual technologies can be used in schools. The use of virtual reality in education improves students' academic performance and motivation. From the video, we could tell that the excitement and challenge of the technology and the learning experience was engaging. The use of this emerging technology follows a constructivist approach and encourages a student-centered learning experience, where students can practice with real-world virtual objects, otherwise impossible. Moreover, the virtual technology has been available for several years, but only recently been developed in an affordable and accessible way. Recent advances have made virtual reality compatible with smartphones, tablets, and video game devices. It's very realistic for future classrooms to access and share virtual reality content through common online websites such as YouTube. So, in conclusion, educational technologists have great tasks before them. Schools and teachers have to learn to utilize these technologies in order to enhance education, and learners have to begin to seek education outside of the school setting. First, technologies need to be simple for students to learn. Even though younger students are growing up surrounded by technology, they're often unskilled at using this type of technology. Training is necessary for educators before implementing these emerging technologies into classrooms. And technologists could also provide sample lesson plans and connections with learning goals. If an educator can see examples of how this technology could be used, then it's easier to imagine and create meaningful lessons. Many new technologies are challenging schools and educators to adapt to the new environment. If both students and educators learn to embrace the changes and rethink education, then learning can be a lifelong experience. On the other hand, if public schools and traditional education do not learn to incorporate new technologies and learning styles, the result may be that our most motivated students seek available resources and do their learning outside the classroom. Thank you.